In 3, 2.
Thank you. Hi, guys.
Hello.
It's a pleasure and honor to have you, the four of you, for my interview. It's for Rock Radio and my video podcast that is called Elena Rosberg Presents, Personalities and Passions. Would you please share what is the main passion nowadays for each one of you? The greatest passion.
My passion is the same as it's been for 35 years, music. And what?
You still didn't hear it?
No.
I can't hear whispering in these. But yeah, music is still my passion. Thank goodness, because I still do it every day.
Yes.
Oh, my fish. Okay, if it's not music, then when I'm home, I have koi ponds and turtles, lots of turtles, and that's my passion. But it's always music still,
Absolutely, I understand. Sully?
My greatest passion is food, sex, and sleep.
In this order.
That's as honest, and I'm not even trying to be a show-off. That's as honest as it gets. Those are my top 3 things in the whole world.
Okay.
I don't even know what order they come in because people would be like, sex better be number 1. I'm like, I don't know. I really love fucking food, so.
And sleep.
And sleeping is critical. So.
Okay. What about you?
My passion is raising my kids. I live on the beach, so I'm loving the surf. I'm doing paddleboarding, water sports, and just hanging out. I'm pretty much that. Still love to play the bass. I play that thing every day. So that's pretty much it.
Thank you.
Music and guitar.
Yeah, I'm sure. And is it cool to be a member of Godsmack?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Kidding me? Hello.
Why is that? After 2 years,
we could think of every other thing on the planet we could be doing for a living, but we get to play rock music, so life is pretty damn good.
I always say it beats banging nails.
Yeah.
And we're lucky we're all still friends after all this time.
Most
When
importantly.
you meet a lot of older bands, they're not friends like we are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we're lucky.
True story.
So you like each other?
Yes.
We love each other.
Well, you love each other.
Yeah, you can't spend 30 years with people and not have a love and respect for them. Listen, we've got along, we've fought, we argued, we cried, we laughed. When you're in a relationship for that long, this is the longest relationship any of us have had, I would think. Maybe not Tony, because Tony was with Sue before he met us. How long before he?
7 years.
7 years before us, so he's had the longest relationship. But you get my point.
Yeah.
Any one of us, well, no, that's it. This is the longest. Yeah.
Am I right to consider that you are opening a new page, a new chapter?
Yes.
As a band? Would you please tell us why?
We felt that as we started to work on this record, trying to figure out what this record was going to be, what I was going to write about lyrically, what the music was going to sound like, as you go through that beginning process, we always have or at least I have my freak out moment that I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to write about. I don't have any musical ideas. And so the journey begins there, right? But as we started to develop it, we started to realize that a couple things happened, which was the record really felt like it had closure by the time we finished it. And really this record became about one man's journey through life, the ups and downs, finding love, losing love, getting love back, realizing the things that are important in his life, which is the career, the band, things like that, all the way to the end, which is about if I could talk to myself as a younger version of me, what would I give myself as advice, and would I have done it differently, or would I have needed to go that fast and that recklessly in order to get where we got, right? So that person's journey really was me and the guys, and the whole story of this record is about that journey. So by the time we get to the end of it and we realize that this chapter is kind of closed, along with having 27 top 10 singles and 11 number 1 songs, and we're going to have obviously a few more singles on this record, we're going to be at 30 top 10 singles. Like, we're there, we've arrived, and we had to recognize that because it's time for us now to do what's right for the fans and deliver the music that they have claimed to be our best songs over the years, right? They're the ones that chose the singles, really. We could suggest that we feel like this is the song, but they're the ones that made it successful. So therefore, they want to hear those songs every night. But there's not enough hours in a night to be able to play 30 songs. So, you know, when you go see your favorite bands these days that have that kind of history, what do you want to see? Do you want to see a bunch of new stuff that you don't know yet? Or do you want to hear the hits that you've learned and loved and became the soundtrack to your lives? And so for those reasons, we felt like maybe this chapter is about to close on writing new music, and the next chapter is going to begin where we're going to start touring on the Greatest Hits show and delivering that kind of entertainment night after night.
Surrender is an instant hit. I told you we played on a heavy rotation on the radio. It's new, fresh, but still Godsmackish, the best way, if I can tell that.
That's exactly how Tony described it, actually.
It's like the older stuff, but feels like up-to-date, very adequate towards the things that's going on. How could you stop making new music? You're full of inspiration, creative ideas. What is going to happen with this energy? I guess you have other plans on mind.
Well, for instance, you know, he had solo work. I have a side project with his band. He wants to make a guitar record. You know? So, like, the way we see it is like this is our reward at the end of decades of hard work. You know, we've kind of arrived. Like you said, so, you know, we can now enjoy this and go out and make our fans super happy, play all just the hits, and then, you know, and it's not just music, you know, like I said earlier to someone else, it's like we've climbed, you know, you have a mountain, you have goals that you set in life, and wow, it's been a hell of a climb, but we feel we got to where we wanted and dreamed of as kids. We got to the top of this mountain, so what's next, you know? And so I don't care, it could be, you know, writing books or acting in movies or painting pictures, but...
Or maybe just even enjoying when we do go out and play and not have to have such a workload attached to it. Because at what point do we deserve, after 3 decades, to just go out there and have no responsibility and just walk on a stage and play our songs without having to promote something or get in the studio and record something? Like, for me, that's the part that's like, it becomes exhausting.
And there's pressure involved.
Yeah, lots
you
of
know,
pressure.
There's labels and managers and all this expectations, and everybody, oh, what's a new... You know, we've done that now like decades. So now when do we get to go, wow, let's just go and play the badass festival for our fans and have a great time with no pressure and no people with their hands out.
And why not, right? Our songs have gone through the test of time. I mean, they've been around for almost 30 years now. They're not fading. The fans still come to see us play. They love the music. So why wouldn't we honor that and just play the most special parts of our career for them? You know, every tour, I explained to someone before, has had a special moment in that tour. So if we were on the Awake tour, there was a certain moment of that show that we featured something special about one of those songs. Faceless, we featured I Stand Alone. On the 4 record, we featured Speak. On the Oracle record, it was Crying Like a Bitch. But in those moments, for those big special songs, we put together a really special stage show and a presence, and something spectacular happened. Now we have the opportunity to make the entire show a real special moment. And that, to me, is what I'm excited about.
How hard it is to pick certain songs from your wonderful career, so rich with so wonderful music, and just to make a short list about 15 songs or what? How difficult it is? How did you decide? Do you argue what to include?
We don't have to.
Like you said earlier, you know, it's our fan base, and we know what works and what they want to hear, and so that's all we got to deliver.
Yeah, the fans picked the songs. We didn't pick them. They were just the fans chose what songs became the most popular, and obviously they're connected to those songs and they're connected to that music. Why would we deprive the audience of not playing the songs that were the most important songs to them in their life based on the music that we gave them? They really dictated whether that song was going to be a hit by their support, their loyalty, their requests to the radio stations. So we don't have to worry about choosing. We just figure out what order we want to play them in, and what, you know, what songs feel that they're going to make it that night. And which is also a trick, because again, you know, we're at a place where we may have 27 top 10 singles, but we can only play 15 in the night. So which songs aren't going to get played is more of the challenge.
Yeah. And you think is in your new single, I Really Need a Break. And I'm considering this far beyond the context of the song. What kind of break do you need?
Well, for me, I needed a break from a lot of things. I needed a break from a relationship. I needed a break from life. I needed a break from the workload. I needed a break from being Sully Erna of Godsmack. You know, I mean, there's a lot of weight on my shoulders a lot of the times. And so, you know, when it gets, I think we all experience that in our own ways. You know, it could be Robbie with family situations. It could be Shannon with, you know, stuff that he's doing in multiple projects, or and trying to balance that and along with the stuff that he wants to do personally at his house or whatever. Sometimes, like, life gets very busy, and once in a while you just need a time out.
Yeah.
So I think that expression in that song, you're right, probably represented a lot more than what the lyrical content is about.
Yeah, and thank God you are still restless and angry in a way.
But I'm not angry. I'm not angry. This is the beauty of music. You get to vent emotion and use it therapeutically, so you don't walk around angry and mad. I haven't been angry in a very long time. And but thankfully, when you run into those challenging moments in life where someone breaks your heart, or someone or work gets to be too much, or family crisis, whatever the situation is, we get to write about stuff, and for me personally, I actually get to scream, which who doesn't want to do that when they're frustrated?
Purge.
Yeah.
Purge, yeah, good word.
I anticipate a lot of hits on your next album, the final album. And you told me that another single is coming. When?
Not
would you
yet.
please?
I
Not
mean, this
yet,
one
I
just came
know.
out.
Yeah, of course.
But we're going to be releasing the second single in February, along with the full album. And all I was saying was, if you love this song, just wait till you hear the next one. Because I'm telling you, it's my favorite song on the record, and it's fire. And that's a little hint.
Uh-huh.
It's a subtle hint.
And the cover of the single is very cinematic to me.
Thank you.
Yeah, really. You're on the cover, right, Shannon?
Yeah, he had approached me and said he had this idea for the cover, and he'd seen me with my shirt off, and I'm very, very bony. And he thought for this idea it would be a good beat up, bony, skinny guy just crawled through the whole damn desert or something. And I said sure, because for one, I like my body. Because man, you should see like online all these people. It's crazy. You know, and I always tell people if I had a dime for every time people said give that dude a cheeseburger, I'd be a billionaire.
Yeah.
You know, and so but. Me, I'm comfortable in my own skin, and when he came to me and said, hey man, I was like, yes, I'd be honored to. And then when I saw the art, I was blown away. I thought, wow. You know, but I didn't expect that kind of backlash from people or whatever, but
that's why I don't read. I don't read any comments or anything.
No, you don't have to.
I don't.
Yeah.
It used to fluctuate my mood. So I don't read anything anymore. People are like, oh, great interview. I'm like, cool.
Uh-huh.
It was good, and I'm glad you liked it.
For what it's worth, I take it all with a grain of salt. But
there's probably just as many people that loved it. That
oh
made
yeah,
it stupid
and you should
comment.
like our fans all, you know, really backed me. You know what I mean? But my point in the end is, you know, black, white, red, yellow, fat, short, skinny, tall. Who gives a shit? We're all one. You know, everybody chill.
Mm-hmm. Are we expecting a video for this single with this artsy
We're working
cover?
on something.
Yeah.
We don't know. You know, we've run into some challenges. We did shoot a video, but we're working through it. We'll see.
And another question: do you consider selling your catalog, like some of your colleagues?
Yeah, I don't want to get into that.
Okay.
That's too personal.
Yeah. No, I'm just curious because besides being a journalist, I'm a great fan of yours. That's why I'm asking.
Understood.
Yeah.
I just don't think whether we did or whether we didn't, it's information that is for the public.
I was just wondering why.
What if we said, like, yeah, we sold it, we made $40 million, and all of a sudden we have a bullseye on our head, and someone's like, he raped me. I want $20 million.
Yeah, I hear you. Absolutely. What should I pass to my listeners? Because there is a great anticipation about the hottest concert that's coming to Bulgaria. Hits. Plus, are you going to play for us this new song?
Well, we're not going to give away everything, but what's the most important for Bulgarian audience to know is that Godsmack is coming back, as we always do, as we always will, because we truly believe that Bulgaria is the leader in all European audiences. You have shown your love and your loyalty and your support and your dedication and your persistence with us. And it really is one of the main reasons that we can even do a run through Europe, is because shows at that level is what we feel we do the best. So we're just really proud to know that that we're playing at that level in another country besides America. And Bulgaria is the country right now that has been the most important part of our career in Europe so far. So that's going to be the Mecca show of all the European dates.
Have you ever been tempted to make your own interview or your own podcast or social media appearance in some way? Because it's very trendy. Everybody does something on social media. Your own channel with certain topic.
I don't have time for it right now, but yeah, I did one during COVID. I did a YouTube channel called Hometown Sessions, and I just kind of had some of my friends from the industry come on, different musicians and comedians and, people like Eddie Trunk and stuff like that. We just had a good time. We just chatted for a half hour, an hour, and talked about whatever we wanted to, and it was fun, but I started to recognize that it was starting to become a real job. Because for every guest I had, I was doing like research on them to try to find out what I'm going to talk about. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh my God, I'm a journalist. Like, no. So I wrapped it up. But they're fun, but I don't know if it's something I want to do regularly.
I'm going to tell the story of Godsmack, from the new millennium part of the story. So, like a documentary or writing a book or...
It'll happen. We're probably getting closer to that time where we'll all start reminiscing about things and writing down topics. And then I'm sure we'll write the Godsmack book at some point.
I've already written his life story book, which was a damn good read.
I think I feel like it'll come out, but when, I don't know. But I like the thought of having a band's book out there in the career and, to show the ups and downs and what it really is like behind the scenes. Because people don't see that side of it. They see us on stage for a couple hours a night and it's so fun and glamorous to them. And, they don't see the long, like he said before, the years away from home, away from the people that you love, but also the exciting times and the fun shit you get to do on the road, and why that counterbalance, is what becomes the story of, the journey of a band going through life together, right? So there's a lot of pros and cons to it, and that contrast is what I think makes a great story.
And would you please tell me just a little bit about your Scars Foundation? What's new about your work with this foundation?
Yeah, so if people don't know, the Scars Foundation is a nonprofit foundation we started back in late 2018, early 2019, that focuses on multiple categories from suicide prevention to severe depression, PTSD, bullying, addiction, all the above. I think we're the only nonprofit organization in the world that deals with multiple categories, where most of them deal with one topic, cancer or AIDS or whatever that is. And not that we're not sensitive to those, but for me to be attached to it, to be able to dedicate my time and energy to it, I needed to find something that I was passionate about. And as I started to realize how I was raised and poor and involved with drugs and gangs and violence and crime and whatever, it was these kind of things that I felt I could help share my experiences with, and that's how the whole thing kind of formed. So a while back, I don't know if you know this or not, but I dated Lady Gaga for a short period of time.
Really?
Yeah. And she's awesome. Not a bad thing to say about her. Maybe one of the most powerful and smart women in the business I've ever met. But through our conversations and hanging out and that kind of stuff, we hit a couple of moments where, you know, when you don't know someone that well yet, you say a certain thing, it triggers them. And it was these little moments that I started to think like, wow, I wonder how many people go through these kind of things where like they hit a nerve, they trigger something, and then people like shut down a little bit, right? And it got me thinking about this whole concept of like, we all have these scars, these emotional and physical scars that make us feel insecure. And we all have them, by the way, even the four sitting here. Like everybody has a little bit of something they're a little bit insecure about. And so I felt like that's what spawned the whole idea. Idea? Did I say idea? Idea. And from there, that's when my thought process started going like, yeah, well, look how you were raised and look at the things I went through and how many other people fight this kind of embarrassment, things like that they don't want to speak about. And the more I dove into that, the more it started to go down the road of when you go to those places and you're dark and you're quiet, you spiral out. And a lot of people take their lives because of that. They sit in this dark area and they don't vent and they don't talk about it. So the Scars Foundation is focused on bringing the voice out in people because we call it the silent killer. What you can't see is what kills you, because when you sit in that very alone place and nobody knows there's a problem, we can't help. But as soon as we can get you to speak and share some of these stories, or even sit in on the community that we created online, they can sit in and listen to other people tell their stories, and sometimes those stories inspire others to tell their story. And once it comes out, then we can identify and start to help and offer them some of these resources that we have within therapy or whatever it is, right? So that was the whole journey of the Scars Foundation, and it's why it's important work personally for me to do, because we're just all tired of losing friends and family members and artists, great artists, to addiction and suicide and things like that. So if the Scars Foundation can help put a little dent and save some lives, then we've done something.
Mm-hmm. And finally, is this what you're talking about connected to the title of the album, Lighting Up the Sky?
No.
What's the message behind the title? What's the idea?
Yeah, that's well, when you hear the record in its entirety, and we really encourage people to get the whole record, because we're still old school in a way of when we record and mix a record and sequence it, we do it in a way where the whole record has a flow to it, one song to the next to the next. Now, a lot of people today, they just pick their favorite, they put them on their playlist, and that's it. But when you hear this whole record in its entirety, it's the story of our career. You know, it really, through it, I mean, obviously it's through my eyes, but everyone's involved in that story. You know, there's songs in there about finding love, about losing love through betrayal. It's about finding a new inspiration to get you off your feet again. It's about me thanking my band for all the great years they've given me, for allowing me to kind of be that force and guide this thing, even when I was a pain in the ass and they all fucking hated me. And finally to the end where I talk to myself as a young version of Sully and ask myself, what would I do differently if I could change it, and would I do it differently? And Lighting Up the Sky is about that. The last song is about me talking to myself as a younger version of me, and what advice would I give myself? And would I change it, or do I regret it? Mm-hmm. And the answer is no. And it's really cool because this record ends where the first record begins. So if people listen through, by the time they get to the last song, and the song is finaleing, and we're bringing it out, and this big thing is happening, they're going to hear little special something at the end of this record that brings them right back to the first album. And for those reasons is why we feel complete, and that maybe this chapter is closed, or at least has closure.
Yeah. I see you very happy and, how to say, philosophically full and completed in a way. That's my feeling while I'm talking to you.
And that's how I think we feel.
Yeah.
Everyone feels complete. I don't think anyone is going in to this concept of ending that part and just beginning a new chapter and feels that's wrong or that we're missing something. I think everybody feels pretty complete, right?
Yeah. And that's the beauty. We're not breaking up. This is it. We're done. You know, give us all your money because it's the last time you're going to see us.
Yeah,
That's not us.
No.
You know, we're gonna tour hard on this record for sure because we really believe in this record. And at the end of that, then we'll take a little time off and then we'll call each other and say when do you want to go play. You know?
Yeah, it's not the end. It's a new beginning. So for the people out there that are starting to think that this is a negative thing, I promise you the one thing I can guarantee you, and I have never said this in my life, this is the best work we've ever done on an album, and there's a lot of really big songs on this record. So I think it's going to keep people satisfied for a very long time, and I don't think they're going to miss the part of whether or not we do new music. I think it's just going to be a matter of how much they enjoy the new music.
Okay, that's the great ending for our interview. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The four of you.
As always, thank you.
Thank you.
You've been the hero behind this band's success up there. Yeah,
Thanks a lot.
Can you say that again?
Should I miss it? Okay. Would you please make the fourth of you like group ID for the radio?
Sure.
Something. A Z-Rock radio.
Z-Rock Radio.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Tony.
This is Robbie.
This is Shannon.
And this is Sully, and we are Godsmack, and we just want to say you are listening to Z-Rock Radio, the #1 rock station in Bulgaria. So turn it the fuck up.